Alright, so today we're doing something a little bit different. Because okay, I just got the message. We're gonna go meet someone very, very special. Someone that's actually relatively important to the entirety of the channel. So hello. Long day ahead of you?
Huh?
Long day ahead of you?
Yeah. And it's funny because actually, even though I'm rooming with people in this place, the funny thing is that I was even sleeping in my room because I had to go back to my place to pick up some shikishi boards.
Oh god.
Because apparently nobody was selling shikishi boards in the dealer's hall.
Oh really?
So I guess I'm gonna make a buck on just walking by, the dude who wants one. Like, oh, $5. Because I mean, people are on top of that. On like cons I go to, even I think this one when they would have shikishi boards in their booths, and nobody was selling them.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I got something I actually want to sell. Let's make some extra cash.
Finally meet you.
So, you guys are from martial arts.
Yeah. So, this is none other than the amazing Philip Warden. I've talked about him in multiple videos. In case you guys don't know, he is the highest paying patron on my Patreon. And he's also one of the best supporters. And in one of the rewards, I am supposed to basically come and meet you. Hi!
Hello.
So we obviously met earlier yesterday.
Yeah.
And we definitely spent the day. I know I'm a boring individual when it comes to conventions. I'm sorry.
I was fine. No problem. I wasn't bored at all. It was fun to see kind of the things that you were into.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, hi, you are none other than the amazing Philip Warden.
I am amazing, yes.
And you are the highest paying patron on Patreon. So you have the $250 tier.
Yes.
And
which you thought no one would do.
Yeah, I legitimately, I put it there because the joke between me, Shoreslock, and This Name Is Taken, who are a bunch of other patrons, they are all like, you should have a tier where you're able to, travel around or, get the opportunity to meet other patrons. And I'm all like, yeah, but that's not really feasible unless the goal is capable of covering, a good amount of the expenses. But you've just been footing the fucking bill the entire time.
I'm very thankful that I have a job that allows me to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is my highest paying job that I've ever had. I don't have a lot of education, but they still took me anyway and helped educate me about what to do in the job. And I also believe in what you do, and I like your videos, man. So that's why I'm supporting you, hoping that you can reach your dream. And that being said, I know I sound a little older right now, but that's because I am.
Yeah,
I did not realize.
Yeah, everyone knows I'm 25, but you are 30.
I am 30, yes.
Yeah.
30.
It's amazing because, we look about the same in age. I understand,
beard.
Yeah,
facial hair right here.
So I have a lot of questions, obviously, because, understanding me as a creator and me as an individual, I make a lot of promises, and sometimes I'm just not very capable because I have big dreams, but not a lot of feasibility to do them.
Right.
So
the posters and the stickers.
I'm terrible at logistics. Either I'm tired or busy, and I have not found any time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to the first one because this was something that we had talked about yesterday, which was the conversation of why you started becoming a patron to begin with.
Yes.
And why you went straight to 50 and then to the 250.
Do you want me to talk about the video that you made, or
I'll cover that because there was a lot about me as an individual 3 years ago that I'm not now.
Right.
So at the time when I made the I'm quitting video, it was
Right.
for me to express in a very angry way that I was just not going to be ultimately happy with sticking around and just doing abridging forever.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, abridging doesn't really make a lot of money. I understand with the case of like crowdfunding and Patreon and the way that people are able to support creators, I understand that is becoming now a commonplace thing. However, on YouTube, you can't really monetize it properly.
Right.
And it's always at risk of the copyright system and copyright claims.
Yep. That
And
happens a lot.
Which I think there's a lot of opinions that come from that, but like when I sat there and said like I just can't do abridging forever, and I expressed that, I had done an interview with Prof Crank about it when Team 4-Star finished episode 60.
Yes.
And
I support them as well.
Yeah.
So.
One of the biggest things about it was just like, I really want to do more. And the biggest problem with doing that is just like, it's not ultimately feasible. Only making abridging content that can only be made over, produced over a course of months, where I can make a video every week on Friday if it's me in front of a camera recording or setting up a schedule with somebody to do spicy anime reviews, or even doing an interview like this. This is significantly easier than meticulously editing and rewriting and voicing and making abridging content, because it's impossible to do on the platform that YouTube is.
Well, I showed you some of my videos yesterday. I used Filmora to edit. I think it's a good kind of middle road for me to learn, not too much of a learning gap for that one.
Yeah.
And what you're saying about, meticulously trying to get this how you need, I understand that. I probably spent maybe a month trying to get those videos together and as smooth as possible to present to you, where there's not a lot of filler. Because that video where I ate that hot chili pepper, that was probably like 7-8 minutes long. And I condensed it down to 5, which, not much, but I kept only the good bits of that. So I understand when you say all that time that has to be put into it, it does take that time you need.
Yeah.
So this definitely would be easier. Because all we're doing is we're sitting, we have 2 cameras, and you can just switch back and forth between the cameras.
Yeah. Also, at the time, I wasn't part of any big team. I'm still on my own. And I've had the benefit of having people like Quiz and Danny, who have been able to help me with stuff. And also, subsequently, people like Teddy and Sir Kaepernick from the Taint Brothers, now helping me with other abridging content. But when it comes to something like this, I have to do this all on my own. I have to put some time behind this, and I have to keep to my schedule. And that whole video of like the reason why I wanted to quit abridging was because there was this feeling of dread. I am going to be stuck in this forever. And the views that I want for this other content will never ever come. And it would feel like I would have to start at ground zero every single video. And I think one of the best quotes I can imagine from Mike Shinoda, it's harder starting over than it is, it's harder to start over. I'm trying to remember the full lyrics now, but like now that I'm in an interview, I can't remember the full thing. So it is this sense of like, I don't want to do this over again. And recently I wanted to try, but then also recently I couldn't do that, and I still had to move these new videos that were going to go onto another channel onto my channel back again, where it's not gonna get as much help as I thought it would. But at the end of the day, I just think that it's not gonna really matter nowadays. Like, I don't have too much of that mentality where I'm angry at everyone else. I'm more angry at like, how can I make my content better?
So let me
how does supporting me affect you at the end of the day?
Okay. Well, let me start by talking about going for the 50.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had this job, and it was going really well. I was getting more money than I ever thought I could. I was saving as much as I could, and I had some breathing room. And then your video popped up. You talking about that. And I was worried because I really liked How to Be an Adventurer, and I really loved Fairy Tale, Abridged. And I know how a lot of people took that, but to me, I just saw someone who needed some breathing room. Someone who needed just a little bit more so that they could live and work on their dreams. And I'd love to support people who need to do that. So I said, listen, this guy needs some breathing room. I'm going to go 50. Going to see how that works. Yeah. And you seem to, it might have been a personal thing where you started to calm down a bit, as you told me, but I also hope that 50 gave you some breathing room. And you come out with great content that I really love to watch. And then you announced the update, how you can help, how to be an adventurer.
Yeah. And
you announced the up to 250. I was like, this is where he's comfortable, and he's going to try to improve his quality more. He's going to try to find more of that time. And I wanted to give you more breathing room for that. I checked all my finances, checked what I was saving, checked what I was spending, and I said, I can do this.
Okay.
And so, you're here.
Yeah.
I mean...
And it's just like, I know over the course of these past couple of months, like, it's been a rocky ride with the Patron,
mm-hmm.
and that's because people coming and going, and of course the holiday season. Yeah. But like, I know that's going to ramp up back soon with
because nothing is guaranteed. The fact that I'm staying consistent is because I'm keeping track of my finances.
Yeah.
And as I've informed you, if my finances start to dip, I might have to go to 100 instead.
Yeah.
Right now, no problem.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think at like one point, when I was living out of my parents' place,
mm-hmm.
I remember it got just so low, like down to like the 400 range.
Yeah.
I was literally only paying for rent. And that was like back when I announced that I was moving out, like it ramped up, and then it just,
I remember that.
Yeah. It ended up dipping down just a bit as the 2 years went on, and then finally when I moved out, I got my breathing room again, and of course I was coming out with How to Be an Adventurer at the time still,
mm-hmm.
and so that was ramping right back up. It was. You're a lot smarter than me when it comes to finances, because like my whole goal is to just make the proper upgrades
mm-hmm.
when I have the funds, and I do separate, making sure that everything gets paid first before I just start blowing money willy-nilly, because that is highly irresponsible.
Well, you saw me at the convention. You know who I am right now.
Yeah. Both me and you at the same time were just like, no,
we can't. And then somebody's like, why is my credit card in my hand? What's going on?
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah, no,
we're
seriously,
very stingy individuals.
And
we know exactly what we want.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. But again, this does not compare to books. I mean, in 1 month, I can drop probably... to say it, probably about 7,000.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
Just to print?
Prints, yeah.
Okay.
And I do have some digital. I like digital.
Yeah.
I'm not against that, and we can actually discuss that later.
Which probably will be the thing I wanted to talk about next.
Okay.
Because
is there anything else you want to know about the support?
Yeah, like I think ultimately my biggest question is, where do you think I should end up?
Texas.
You already know I want to move to Texas.
Texas.
But like, where do you want me in the long run, like, to end up, either as a content creator or voice actor, or even as a sound designer I am?
You know what? I think it would be awesome if you could get, part of the professional anime stuff for sound designer. That'd be pretty cool to hear about. Ultimately, the dreams that you have now, content that you're putting out now, you have a passion in it. And I really like to see that. And that's why I support.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I support you. So that you can follow that passion and make that into a career. Something that can sustain you.
Yeah. I want to quickly talk about the biggest thing, I think, in your life.
Okay.
And this is something that I know that you have a huge passion for, is writing.
Yes.
And you have a book, and like you've given me the summary. You've even given me a signed copy, which as you know, like I love reading.
With the secret ending.
With the secret ending,
which you can only get if you see me after you buy the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon.com, $8.99.
Yeah.
That one up there.
Both
Amazon.com,
at the same time.
$8.99. Yeah.
So when did you start writing? When did it become such a passion to the point like you wanted to write a novel?
All right. So the way I usually say it is, as soon as I could write the letter A, that grew my passion. But part of it was actually in elementary school. My mother, she read me books when I was a little kid, before bedtime, the whole classic stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then my reading just kind of kept going up, which studies have shown. I don't know if you want to look that up and like put a citation on the bottom or anything, but
yeah.
Studies have shown that reading to the kids at night actually helps improve their cognitive skills for learning.
Yeah.
And so part of that was I started reading Clifford the Big Red Dog on my own. Magic Treehouse, one of my favorites for that. And then Wishbone. Have you ever heard that?
No, I have not.
It's about this dog who goes through like medieval times and Sherlock Holmes and stuff. And he just kind of teaches history with that. And there's like Shakespeare, Sherlock Holmes. There was, he was a knight. I think there was a Robin Hood one as well, and they created episodes of this too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm dating myself a little, but anyway.
It's fine. The reason why it's just like when I hear, somebody makes a novel, especially somebody that's obviously not just only a huge supporter, but somebody that, like, I would at this point consider, a good associate, a good friend. Like, I want to read what somebody makes. And that was also, like while Danmachi, as an anime got me invested into wanting to find out more about it, it was a light novel to begin with. Right. And I got a little invested in the sense of just like, well, I want to know what's going on. Like, what's going on beyond the story that was already told. Yeah. And so much had happened in it.
I know, right?
I just, why didn't I read this first? Okay,
so real quickly about that, I'm reading Sword Art Online light novels. I've read all the way to volume 18, the end of the Alicization arc, and oh my god, there are so many things that tie into the first season, and so many things in the background, even of the Aincrad arc. It's mind-blowing. I'll just say that it's mind-blowing, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, being able to get those inside tidbits of what the author was thinking is amazing.
Yeah.
So I really like those things. And actually, that's what sort of my side story is going to be about that I'm writing right now.
Okay.
While I'm here.
Oh.
So, yeah. So it takes place kind of parallel to, or perpendicular, actually. It takes place perpendicular to the first book. So it kind of feeds into that and gives a bit more of a breakdown of the, I think, last half of it.
So, like, a lot with the concept of reading.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're gonna jump into the question of GEDs.
Okay.
And this is important because, I know that you have you dropped out of school, as you were saying. And you got a GED. So my big three parts of this one question is, where do you think the GED stigma comes from? What would you say to someone who has or intends to have a GED? And what would you say to an employer, to somebody that sees that somebody has a GED?
Okay, so the stigma really comes from a lot of people think that because you have a GED, it means you failed high school. Like you just failed. You're not cut out to learn and you just went for the easiest option. It is not. You have to have a reading skill and you have to do it all on your own. The people who teach you in those classes for GED, they don't schedule your appointments to take the actual tests. They can help you with mock tests and stuff. And if you have a question, you need to ask them. But you're doing it all on your own. So, welcome to adult life, kiddies.
Yeah, it immediately thrusts you into adult life.
Exactly. And, I see a lot of things. When I was looking for jobs, it was like, GED or high school. High school or equivalent, or education equivalent.
Yeah.
Which, of course, general equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was saying with that. Anyway, so high school is the one that goes first because they're considered top tier.
Yeah.
They finish their school. They're ready to learn. And GED is like, well, if we have to scrape the bottom of the barrel, that's what we'll do. But GED is very important because it thrusts you into that adult world of trying to manage your time, manage everything else that you can, learning what you need to. I still had to learn stuff and regurgitate it. The thing was, because I was on my own, because I didn't have any notes up on the board, I retained it a lot better. I still have you go through like history and learning dates and stuff like that. Math, of course. I'm lacking in math still.
Same here.
I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and that's all I need at my job. That's it. Even going with calipers, with tenths and microns with the micrometer.
Yeah.
I still just need to add and subtract stuff. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for me. And the thing with the GED as well, if you have a GED, you're not a failure. And to those who are employing high school and equivalent, those GEDs, they've worked very hard. And I know that, of course, from experience. And what you see on paper is probably not just who they are. I would suggest giving them a chance. And so I'm really glad for my job because of the interview. So I got called into the job, the one that I have now. And he's like, yeah, so I'm going to interview you. These are kind of the questions I'm going to ask. If we do hire you, you have to work the hours that you've signed up for. It's not like we can change stuff. So I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Let's interview. First question, right out of the gate. Do you know what a caliper is? No. Do you know what a micrometer is? No. Okay. How are your math skills? Lacking. By then I thought, well, this interview's over. I was actually just about to stand up and shake his hand. Like, thank you for your time. Thank you for seeing me. I'm just going to head out. And then suddenly he turns to me. He's like, I want to offer you a job. Okay. I thought, and again, I'm dating myself here. I thought I was on candid camera. I thought it was a prank or Punked was the other one. Ashton Kutcher or Justin Bieber's going to come in and go like, yeah, we got you. And stuff.
Yeah.
I know. But, yeah. But, he was serious. And as I started to learn the job, I found out that it is a lot easier to write on a blank piece of paper than one with all these scribbles all over it. So I'm going to paraphrase this. There is a story in Zen Flesh, Zen Bones, which is a story that my martial arts teacher has me read. And it's the very first one. This guy comes to learn from this wise old man. And the guys were like, would you like tea? Yes, please. So pours the tea for him. And then he pours it for him. And it overflows. And he's like, what are you doing? It's all over the place. He's like, how are you to learn if you don't empty your cup first? So how can I fill you more with what I know if you're already full of all this information?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I told you I go off on a tangent.
So obviously, last question, because this is going to be leading into more events today. How good are you with spicy?
Okay, so work sent me to India for 2 months.
Yes.
And the last night of one of my coworkers from the Suzhou plant in China, he was there, Li Yongji. And he had this kind of green pepper, probably about this long, and every once in a while he took his knife and just took a little piece off and, just started eating it. Well, what is that? Is that a green bean or something? No, hot pepper. I'm like, okay. Like, well, why don't you just eat it? It's like, oh, very hot. You gotta be a man about that. Famous last words. I took the whole thing.
Is man's folly.
I know. Oh my god. I took the whole thing, put it in my mouth, drank some beer, and it was like the burning sensation was stuck in my throat. It lasted probably about, as I said, 8 minutes. It lasted 8 minutes. I had asked the waiter for some milk like halfway through, and then towards the end, they forgot about my milk. They forgot to pour it and bring it out to me. I can't feel my mouth at this point. It's so bad. And finally they brought me my milk. I had to have probably 4 glasses this tall of the milk. And I could not eat anything after. I had burnt my mouth too much that every time I tried to eat, like, even cauliflower they had over there. Cauliflower. I put that on my tongue and it hurt. So I had to spit it out. I could not do that. So, if you're asking how I am with spicy foods, not good.
Well, good because...
really spicy.
Yeah, well, good because you're about to do spicy anime review.
I know.
Alright, so it's pretty much everything. We have a bit more of a day today. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, like, as I always try to be as humble as I can and have as much confidence as I can, I cannot thank you as an individual enough for helping me, as well as all the other patrons that join, and then also the people that do donate to the streams and stuff like that.
Yes.
I cannot thank every one of you, and you especially, who has been here the longest and been the largest in support. So once again, thank you so much, Philip.
Yes.
And I guess we have more to do today. So so yes. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
One other thing that we can put in here for later, we can cut in. So when you announced your new tier for $250, and then you gave me the shout out afterwards, I was actually in the break room, had my headphones on, and I was like, "Oh my god, what?" Everyone around me was like, "What the heck's going on? What?" I'm like, sorry.
Right.
So I showed some of my friends that, and they're like, "Well, that's pretty cool that, someone on YouTube gave a shout out to you." So that meant a lot to me as well. It shows me that you see me, and that, my support means a lot to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for even not just me, but a lot of other people on Patron.
Yeah. Thank you, patrons. No matter what tier, no matter what level, every one of you, are amazing. And you really do help me. Every video, everything that I make, every content that gets posted. I know as I said before in one of my last videos, that I haven't been extremely attentive, but this year I plan to be extremely attentive. So, once again, thank you. And we definitely have a bit more of a day ahead of us.
Yes, we do.
Well then, thank you again, folks.
Thank you very much, Aaron.
Alright.
We are.
Alright. So before I end this video, I'm going to open a package that Phil had just sent me over the UPS because I couldn't get it at ALA on Sunday because I was dealing with D6 stuff, and I cannot do this with one hand. So this is his last gift before he left, and also just a gift of his presence. Christ almighty. Yeah. He knows that my favorite character is Futaba. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is awesome. There it is. Oh, that is so awesome, and I love how it lights up. This is the second Futaba figure that has been sent to me by a fan. This one was sent to me by Shadow Neko, along with that saber also being sent by Shadow Neko. So yeah, thank you, Phil.